pass from Havili was magic. The shift on for Crotty. Boom, far down you go, Quackett Smith. Me, oh my, I have enjoyed that. Yes, boy.
Sit back, relax, put your belt on, enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Draft Rugby Show. I'm your host, Kargi, and I am joined by my co-hosts, brothers Harry and Nelson, to talk some fantasy rugby again. Gents, Draft Rugby Round 1. How good was it to finally watch some some good rugby on the weekend and just get after your fantasy players?
Oh, so good, mate. Loved every minute of it. And as you said, the Super Rugby Aotearoa comp just adds another layer, doesn't it?
It does. Nels, how did you find it?
And the fact that we had 4 games for me was awesome. You know, you don't have one game Friday, one game Saturday, or the double on Friday. You can actually spread it out through the weekend, and I mean, more footy the better, I reckon.
And 4 games wasn't enough for you. You had to go also. You were at the Kiama Sevens all weekend. You just had to have 3 or 4 days of rugby, basically.
It was just tons of Sevens footy, and it was actually really good to see. So yeah, it was great.
Excellent. And were you better than or not better than Will Miller, who I believe was also playing on the day?
He was pretty good.
He's pretty good? You think he had to?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, very good.
Well, I mean, I was on the sideline drinking, so he definitely outplayed me.
Excellent. So you outdrank him then. There you go.
I definitely outdrank him.
Excellent. Okay. How do we all think? Look, we had our draft last week, the most important day of the year, bigger than Christmas. How do we all feel the draft went? Any big regrets off the bat?
Look, I don't think I have regrets. I was slightly disappointed I didn't get a top shelf back rower. For me, looking at those back rowers in recent years, if you don't get that sort of top handful, you drop down from somewhere between low 30s to mid 20s. And for me, I missed a chance early to get one of those back rowers. So I thought I'd, go for top positions elsewhere. And I think that proved to pay off for me this week, but I've got a long way to go to build a little bit more of a back row. Yes, no, in fact, Nelson waited until his 11th pick to pick up a back rower. And I think he was so delusional. He thought he'd already picked up Lachlan Boshier. He was just somehow had added a pick into his mind and that he was in his team. But no, I think we were all a bit surprised to see Nelson not pick up all of his boys, Boshier, Fraser McWright, Tizano, etc. The difference for me was with our one forward benchy, I went for Falau Faenga relatively early. So then I had to back it up and I went Tom Horton, which that was probably my mistake. Harry pointed it out to me at the time and I agreed. Instead of picking up Tom Horton, I could have got a 1 weeker, quite easily and then, gone a little bit earlier on back rowers. But even by that time, all the top shelf back rowers had gone. And look, that's okay. In terms of draft mistakes, Harry clearly didn't get the memo. He decided to pick up the Waratahs. Harry, you went for the Waratahs 9, 10, and 12 combo. A lot of faith there. How'd that go for you?
And 14. Well, mate, it looks like it's going very well, to be honest. I think I'm cleaning up on the champ and finally finishing the winning streak that he had over the top of me. So I'm pretty happy with that. And look, my big takeaway from the draft, as I said, without my microphone working before, was that we established that 5th place, Nelson suggested, is the hardest place to draft from this year.
Got him. Yes. Harry, I just want to point out, so if you have in fact won against Chrissy, scores to be finalised, I think it could be perhaps because you have not once used the word curse, which Nelson goes to about every, twice a week at least. So, kudos on that. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
That's certainly some weight off your shoulders.
I just want to point out there, it looks like I started off with the win this year too. So me and Harry look like we're going to be 100% success rate. There's no doubt about it. Craigs, how did you go this week?
Yes, no, very good. I went across, went against my modus operandi of not picking up players who are not playing and slowly decided to not field a full team, but yet I think only 11 players and a benchy or something. Don't know how that happened. I got very carried away with my first pick, I suppose, second pick, and I chose Harry Wilson over Artie Sevilla. I just got overcome by a wave of,
You idiot.
this is my one chance to get Harry Wilson, and I really want to get him. And I've been feeling, I hate to say it because Harry's going to feel really good, but I've been feeling this wave of regret ever since. Yeah, in fact, look, I was telling Nelson, the way the draft went, I actually could have ended up with both the Sevillas and both the Ioannis, basically my dream fantasy team of all time. But
the good thing for you, Craig, is you're going to have first pick again this week, seeing as you're going to be sitting in the wooden spoon.
That's true. Look, this is the closest you'll ever find me to the wooden spoon, Nelson. And unlike, I believe you were sitting in this position last year, and I can't remember, but I remembered certainly that you botched whoever the first pick was. And you did not pick up anyone great, so I'm hoping not to repeat that. But
no, there was no one available last year. I don't feel it's going to be the same this year. You could probably pick up Stacey Ely or something like that. Actually, no, he's in Harry's team. You can't get him.
Well played. All right, now anyway, look, we do need to move on, but very quickly for our listeners, our first 16 picks in our draft were in order: Richie Mo'unga, Will Jordan, Cody Taylor, Nani Lamape, Tate McDermott, Sevu Reece, Caleb Clark, Rico Ioane, and that was round 1. Round 2, we had Harry Wilson, Hoskins Sotutu, and then Artie Sevilla. Can you believe it? Artie went 3rd. And we flowed on to D-Mac for Nelson, Mikaeli Tu'u, and David Havili, injured David Havili, not playing, and Filippo Dangunu, and Aaron Smith somehow came in there as well. I'm not sure about that one for NSYNC, but yeah, what were our thoughts on that, on the top 2 rounds, boys?
Oh, look, there's most of the big names you would have picked, but we'll do the big write-up again on the OG League for the initial draft and then for the round 1 as well. So hopefully we can get that sorted in the next 24 hours as well, and we can flesh it out a bit more.
Fantastic. All right, now the last point before we get into the menu for tonight is you can go back and check out last week's pod where we talk about the draft, and we reviewed Super Rugby AU round 1 and previewed all the rounds from Draft Rugby round 1. Harry's conveniently breaking them up into little bite-sized videos, so you can get the same this week. You'll be able to get your previews for your Aussie fixtures coming up and the Super Rugby Aotearoa fixtures coming up, so make sure you get after those. All right, menu for tonight. For entree, we're going to look at Draft Rugby round 1. That is Super Rugby AU round 2 and Super Rugby Aotearoa round 1. I'm not actually going to keep saying that in the breakdown every week, but we're just going to refer to it as Draft Rugby, and you can figure it out. For main course, we're going to preview the fixtures that come in Draft Rugby round 2, and this week, look, it's been it was a big weekend, a lot of beers, a lot of calories consumed. We're going healthy, no dessert this week. Let's just get on with it, so we can all get some sleep and get to work tomorrow.